What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's daily devotional, man, and we're going through the book of John. We're in John chapter 19, verses 25 through 27 today. 25 through 27. If you haven't read it yet, go ahead and stop the tape, see what it has to say, come back, and we're going to answer some questions. If you've already read it, we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're continuing on the narrative of Jesus on the cross, and we have kind of like a dynamic between the people that we talked about in the last episode, which were the soldiers who were trying to take advantage of Jesus, and then because they are taking his clothes and dividing them and gaining spoils from them. While now we have a group of people who are brokenhearted from what is happening. We have one group who is proclaiming joyously and taking advantage of the situation, while the others are brokenhearted and down and because of the situation that's happened with Jesus. And what it is that there's, I was going to say 4 women, but there's the debated number of women that are before the cross. And there's also the disciple whom Jesus loves. And as Jesus is on the cross, he declares to his mother that he says, "Behold your son." And then he declares to the disciple, he says, "Behold your mother." And then it says that after that day, he took her into his home. And so this is a very intimate thing here. First, I want to talk about the dynamic between who we talked about in the last episode and what we're talking about today with these women. Is that one is mocking and defiling, while the other is, is humbled and saddened and broken. One sees the actions of Jesus and laughs and scoffs. The others see the acts of Jesus and are broken. See, that we could go into the practical application right there. Is where are you at in this situation? When you see what Jesus has done, do you mock and ridicule, or are you brokenhearted from this? I talked with a woman during the weekend, and she spoke about how she could understand the love of Jesus more because of the situation she'd been in, how she'd been abused and beaten. And then she saw that Jesus had been abused and beaten. And she realized 2 things. One, the pain and the struggle that Jesus had to have gone through for our sake. And then it translated into an understanding of the love that Jesus had, that he would take that upon him when he didn't have to, because he's the King of the universe. So that was the application a little bit there. I started a little early on you guys, man, you know what I'm saying? But what else can we see from this? And I think there's a lot of symbolism that people have picked up and gained from this, but it is the relationship of the body of the church together. Some have thought about how the way in which Jesus speaks to Mary first declares his unique sonship, that he is distancing himself from like the humanity that he has, and understanding and defining his unique role as the Son, and his death on the cross is salvation for us. And people get that because of the earlier when we read that he says woman, and distances himself from her in chapter 2, whenever it was the turning of the water into the wine, that he distanced himself, and you never actually hear the name of Mary. And so in that manner, we also have the beloved disciple who is unnamed as well. And so and we talked about this a little earlier, is a representative of how a disciple should walk in Jesus. And so as these two come together, it is the uniqueness of the Son of God, that he is different from us, yet by saying that behold your mother, it's also defining us as sons of the children of God. Not the same way that Jesus was, because he is distanced from Mary, but that we are adopted into this family as John is being made, or is being brought into the family fold by saying, I said John, but the beloved disciple, but that he was brought into the family fold by Jesus, saying, take care of my mother. So that's a beautiful thing that we see. And so what is this saying about God? Well, first off, it is saying that Jesus, in his actions, has so much care and concern for his family that even in his pain and his suffering, he seeks a way in which he could bring those people together. He's got to take care of his mother, fulfilling a law that says that as the firstborn, he must provide for, care for his mother after he's gone. He's doing that. In all of this, he is still doing that. Man, that's insane. And then secondly, I think what it does, it declares Jesus as the sovereign God, obviously, on the cross, being able to do these things and understanding that these things happen. But also it declares the love that he has and the desire for unity in the church. If this is what John is saying in symbolism and uniting Mary with the I'd say Mary, but his mother with the beloved disciple, it speaks about the desire of the unity and the brotherhood and sisterhood that Christians should have. This is the desire of Jesus. What's this say about man? I think that what it's saying about us in the example of Jesus is that even in our suffering and in our plight, we look to the care and the benefit of others. We look to the care, the benefit, and well-being of others. In Philippians, Paul says that we show or seek to others to be more significant than ourselves. This is what Jesus is doing. In the pain and the suffering that he's with, he still seeks to take care of his family. How can we apply these truths to our lives? Well, we talked about one earlier to see where you at. Which one are you? Are you the one who is going to ridicule for the things that Jesus has done? Or are you the one who is going to be broken because of what he's done? I think that's the most important thing. But another application is the unity in the body of the believer. Because we know that this is the desire that Jesus wants. A family that is under his wing and tutelage. Is that what we're seeking? Is that what we're doing? Are we seeking to bring peace and unity in the church? So that's something that we can think about. And today, an application practically is to bring this unity. I think is important for us to forgive. To forgive. And then what that does is it shows how Jesus, even how in his desperation on the cross, broken and beaten and bloody, he still cared for his mother, taking care of it. That is in the same way as we live and we breathe and we walk this earth. We know that sin happens, especially, not especially, but in the family of believers. And it is so important for us to forgive despite the hurt, because we seek to bring unity to the church. Seeking others is more significant than ourselves. It doesn't say that we're not important. It just says that our prerogative, being on Christ, should be to grow, help, and love others. Hey, I appreciate you guys for listening, and I will see you in